So week one of preseason is over. Let's talk about which teams did well. Looking at the games, let's also say which ones were the best. I'd say the Broncos and the Colts game was the best. There was actually competitive back and forth, and they actually scored, which is something you rarely see in preseason. My sticky notes falling down. Then Buccaneers Bengals was a good game. Two competitive teams looking to do well this year. They actually put up some points as well, and it was back and forth. Panthers Patriots was a good one. It was a bit of a blowout, of course, as it always is with the Panthers. But it was cool seeing Joe Milton's debut. Commanders and Jets. It was cool seeing Jaden Daniels. It was a little closer, too, than that last one, Panthers Patriots. Chiefs and Jaguars, and 49ers Titans. Neither game was really close, but it was kind of cool to see the Jaguars and Titans actually get the win. And then Raiders Vikings and Eagles Ravens. They were close, but they weren't really. They were close and competitive, but they weren't that entertaining. So they're kind of in the middle. Saints and Cardinals, Falcons Dolphins. They were just kind of all right. The Cowboys versus the Rams, just skipped to like the last 20 minutes. The Packers versus the Browns, it was very one-sided. The Browns defense did not show up. Then Texans, Steelers, Bears, and Bills, both were pretty one-sided. Justin Fields didn't look too good for the Steelers, and the Bills, once Josh Allen came out, just had nothing. The Hall of Fame game was pretty weak, too, as they didn't even finish it with bad weather. But I'd say if you're going to avoid a game, the two worst games, or just watch them for fun. But you won't have much fun. If you watch them, know that they're bad. We'd have the Lions and Giants. It was just one-sided. The only good thing about it was it's nice to see the Giants defense actually show up, which a lot of people didn't think would happen this year. And the worst game was Seahawks-Chargers. And if a Seahawks fan is telling you that, then you know that it was a pretty bad game. The Seahawks offense wasn't that good, but it was far better than the Chargers still. So let's move on to power rankings. At 32, we got the Panthers. They're still the weakest looking team in the league right now. 31, we got the Chargers. They put up a very bad fight against Seattle. Hopefully Justin Herbert can look a lot better once the season actually starts. The Browns, I'll put it 30. Their defense did not show up, and that's really what they were supposed to be all about this year. So hopefully once the starters get in there, it'll be a lot better. 29, we got the Falcons. Very disappointing. Michael Penix didn't look very good. 28, the Bills. Oh, he didn't play much, just for the record, but still. 28, the Bills. They looked very disappointing. 27, the Steelers. Justin Fields was not great out the gate. 26, the Commanders. I guess better than a lot of Commanders fans were hoping for this year. 25, I'll put the Lions. They did look pretty bad against the Giants defense. Hopefully, once the season starts and the starters are in there, they'll be a lot better. 24, the Cowboys. They do the cowboy thing that they always do and choke it away at the end. But I was going to throw them higher until that ending, but they messed it up. Didn't get a touchdown, though, so they kind of deserve it. 23, the Eagles, and 22, the Dolphins. They did get the wins, but they didn't look very convincing doing so. So I got to put them down here for now. 21, we got the Chiefs, and 20, the 49ers. I'm sure they'll be back once the regular season starts, but at least right now in preseason, without their starters, they don't look very good just yet out the gates. 18, I got the Cardinals. Their defense was pretty lackluster. Clayton Tune looked better than he did last season, though. At 18, we got the Texans. Kind of just middle of the pack right now. I'm sure C.J. Stroud will... He looked good when they started that game, so we'll see how they do once the regular season goes. 17, the Titans, right in the middle. They had a good fight against the 49ers and looked a lot better than I think we were expecting them to this year. 16, I got the Patriots. Same boat as the Titans, a lot better than I think we were anticipating this year. and just watching Joe Milton was a lot of fun. Top half, I got the Raiders at 15. I think they would have won that game if I'm drawing a blank on their coach's name, but if he hadn't called those timeouts at the end, I'm not really sure what he was doing, but I do like the guy, and I'm glad the Raiders kept him, so I'm sure he'll learn from it going forward. 14, I'm going to put the Rams here. I was going to put them way lower, but of course, if you watch the last few minutes of that game, Stetson Bennett actually had a decent drive after throwing 4 interceptions. They're going to throw 5 if they didn't call that last one back, but I'll put them higher for now just for that cool ending to the game. 13, I got the Vikings, and 12, the Ravens. They both took the L, but I think that the Vikings won, but I feel like they should have lost that game if it wasn't for the Raiders calling timeouts. And then the Ravens at 12, I'll say that they were the best of the losing teams. Nope, never mind. There's 2 more on the list. Number 11, I got the Jets. Still the best in their division, but they didn't look too strong against the Commanders, at least not in preseason. Top 10, I'm going to go with the Bengals. They also lost, but they put up a good fight against the Buccaneers. They look like they'll be good this year, even without Joe Burrow. They looked very good. T. Higgins got a touchdown early from Burrow. That was pretty cool to see. Number 9, I got the Colts, and 8, the Broncos. Very close back and forth game. Got to put the Broncos higher just because they walked away with the win. But the Colts are actually the highest of my losing teams up here. Number 7, I got the Seahawks, although I think that was just because the Chargers were a pretty easy team to overcome. We'll see how they do in the rest of preseason and once the regular season starts. Number 6, I got the Saints. I wouldn't be too shocked if they fall lower in my power rankings, but at least for now, they put up a pretty good performance. Top 5, I got the Jaguars. They got a win against the Chiefs, and sure, it wasn't the starters, at least not, Mahomes and Kelsey played in the first 5-10 minutes, but it was mostly the Jaguars' defense that looked pretty good. Same with the Giants. I got them at 4. Their defense looked pretty good. Hopefully Daniel Jones will be all right this year, given that Drew Lock got injured. But if not, then their defense. We all knew going into this season that the defense was what was going to have to carry the Giants to any wins this year. Number 3, got the Packers. They just made short work of the Browns' defense. Number 2, the Buccaneers. A close game with the Bengals, but they look like they were ready to win the division again and have a good year this year, even without Baker playing. Kyle Trask looked really good. Hopefully, if a team needs a QB, they can pick him up if Tampa's willing to move on from him. But number 1, I got the Bears. They technically got 2 wins of the preseason. Caleb Williams looked really good out the gates. Bears fans, keep in mind this is preseason, so you don't know how this is going to go down the road. But at least for now, that's the power rankings: Bears, Bucks, Packs, Giants, Jaguars, Saints, Seahawks, Broncos, Colts, and Bengals in the top 10. Jets, Ravens, Vikings right behind them. And only time will tell once the season actually goes. But 1 week into preseason, those are the teams that are looking the best out the gates. So I'll see you next time.